Welcome to Landria Anca on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. I just did a video about how would you live if somebody told you you had a very short period of time to live. And my response to that is, most people would say that 100% of the stuff that they worried about would have no importance whatsoever. And 100% of any negative feelings would not be valid anymore. In other words, anything you felt about somebody else, I think forgiveness would all of a sudden become very important to you. Loving other people, even if they've done rotten things. Looking at the world in a very positive way would be something that may start to show up very quickly, including how wonderful this planet is. So let's talk about death. It's been a while since I've done a video on this, so I thought I'd do another one. You know, there are a lot of people out there that, I just experienced this. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Somebody had a death that was very traumatic for them, somebody they were super close to, and they went through a very, very difficult time for a good year. And then the following year, somebody else close to them died. They handled that one a lot better. But so while they were going through all this grieving process, you know, there were a lot of, you know, bugging out from life kind of things going on. So I looked at this and I thought, we all have to be allowed to grieve the way we do, but I'm going to tell you something. There's nobody special when it comes to that. There's nobody special. It's not like my story's worse than your story. Some of them are, but that's part of the experience that we chose here. It's part of everything that is not coincidence, not random, and we all die. It's not like, oh, they're gone. Guess what? You're going to be going too. I mean, we act like, you know, it's something that isn't natural and like, oh, excuse me, but give it a few years. You're going to be next, and then they're going to be next. We're all going to do it. We don't celebrate that. Do you know, I think the Indians do. I think American Indians do. They celebrate it. They know it's a beautiful, awesome thing. And they also, in a lot of cultures, know that that spirit doesn't die and that it becomes this lighter, beautiful, sometimes guiding thing. But most of us, very many Americans, don't have that. We grieve. It's a bad thing. It's a negative. Why is death a negative thing? So I can speak from experience. Now, I've never lost a child. I don't have any kids. But I lost my Jack Russell after 16 years. I'm going to tell you, it was pretty devastating for me. I did. I cried for a couple weeks. I'll admit. It was really tough. Because he's curled up in my, you know, bed with me for 16 years. He was number one. No matter who was in my life, he was number one. Unconditional love, right? So I just want to share with you, as you know, I've lost my whole family, and I'm not saying like I have cousins and stuff, but you know, my mom and my dad, my dog, my brother, and my cousin all died within a very short period of time of each other. And yes, of course there was sadness. Of course I went through this whole bizarre, you know, realization that you're never gonna hug that person again. It's weird. But I also don't feel like I ever lose anybody. I don't lose anybody. I have to tell you something that happened to my Jack Russell. This was very bizarre. The night before my Jack Russell died, he was really bad. And I had like an IV. I hooked it up on the ceiling fan, and I was injecting him with fluids because he wasn't eating, and he had pneumonia, and so I had him on his little bed on the couch, and I stayed up all night with him, and of course I barely slept, and he just laid there, and there was this like white mist. It wasn't a mist like smoke. It was sort of like an opaque kind of thing on the floor in an area around him, and I kept sitting there looking at this thing going, what is that? And then I'd like snooze, and then I'd wake up and I'd go, there's like this white kind of opaque thing. I can't even describe it. I couldn't figure out what it was. It wasn't smoke. It wasn't that kind of. And the next morning I took him to the vet. He got a shot. On the way home, he went into a seizure. I got him inside the house. He died in my arms. I was so thankful. I didn't have to put him down. I don't know if I could have done that. I think his soul was leaving. Later on I thought about it. I thought, because I didn't know. You always hope, right? You don't want to believe they're really going, especially animals. Oh, he's going to pull out of this. He's 16. He's a Jack Russell. But he was gone. And I thought, oh my gosh, his spirit was leaving. And that's what happens with people that are ill or whatever. You'll notice that, and have you ever noticed they revive a little bit? On the way home, he was like, bing! He wanted to look out the window. I'm like, what? What's going on here? They're reviving. There's like this energy surge just before they leave their body because they're no longer attached to it. So what happens is they're not feeling the pain. Their energy is not dragged down. They're already moving out of their body, and they're lighter. And then they pass over. They're not really connected to their body at that point. So I want you to know if you're dealing with somebody who's ill or whatever, or especially my dad he was in sort of like, he was in a coma kind of state. He was not responsive. He was on all kinds of machines. He was not really him anymore. I knew my dad was already on the other side, and that we were just keeping him in that body. Well, tethered to it, I should say. I want you to realize that your energy, we're all energy. Death is not a sad thing. We miss them, and yes, of course, grieving, there's nothing wrong with these human emotions. That's part of being here, is experiencing that. The sadness and, the attachment that we have to that personality, that person that was probably important in your life. It can be difficult, but I want you to understand that there's nobody special. It's not like it's happening to you, it's not happening to somebody else. That person I'm talking about that lost two people, I lost my whole family within that time period. You didn't see me going wham, 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 and life's going to stop. I continued on because I want to celebrate them. And I know they're on the other side. My dad made some very big appearances, even with other people in the room, by the way. It was a little freaky. My dad made his presence known to me. And pay attention to your dreams. These people are visiting you. They're giving you signs. They're letting you know, I'm okay. It's beautiful over here. There's nothing to worry. Even my parents, who didn't go out on the best of terms in their own life, they were not really living the lives that they should have. And including my brother, not living fulfilled lives. I know that they're progressing at lightning speed over there compared to here. It might be like 100 years in advancement of, it's a year here and they're like way advanced, what it would take us forever to get to. They're already learning, moving on, going to a higher frequency, whatever they're doing. So I want you just to understand that they're in a beautiful, awesome place. They're in God's arms. They're loved. They're loved. They don't want you to be sad. Do not let that affect you to the point where you're going to go into depression or you're sad. That's the last thing they want. Live that life to the fullest. In fact, I know my parents and my brother right now, they're cheering me on because I'm doing stuff that they weren't doing, that they should have done. I'm living a fulfilled life. I'm going after it. I'm breaking through the fears. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can keep going. I got more to accomplish in this life. We're not going to be here that long, right? But the sadness, it's okay to be sad, but when you go into these deep, dark places where, that's not where they want you to be, they don't end. Our energy doesn't end. Birth is difficult. Dying is beautiful. There's no suffering in that. In fact, most people, I'd say, in traumatic situations, they leave their body before they actually experience any pain. Anybody who's been murdered has probably never even felt it or didn't even know that happened because they have already left their body. The spirit knows when to get out. Spirit does not want to experience. There's no reason for the spirit to experience the actual horrible pain, right? The spirit will leave. Even if that person is still technically alive, that spirit will start to detach. Ask anybody who's had an NDE in that situation. They'll tell you that they were either looking at their body or they tell you they didn't have any pain. We've heard this so many times. You know it's true. So don't worry about that. They're fine. The pain is being here. I just got stung by a bee yesterday. I'm in agony. My leg is swelled up like a balloon. Yeah, so dying is not the problem. Did you ever hear what Steve Jobs said when he was dying? It was like in his last breath. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. He was meditating, doing stuff toward the end, and I think he was crossing over and seeing and experiencing stuff that was just mind-blowing and beautiful. Oh, wow. Not, oh, wow. Like, this isn't good. And that's what we're going to, and that's what they've gone to. So go ahead and let them go and be okay. It's going to be a nanosecond you're going to be with them because you're going to die too. We're all going. And you get to decide that. So don't leave early. Stay here and do your mission. Keep your mission going. Raise your frequency. Live and be happy. Do it for all the people you've lost and animals. I know it's tough to lose an animal. It's so tough to lose an animal. So you know what a lot of people do? Go get a rescue and save that animal. Save that animal from a horrible death or a horrible existence. Bring that little puppy home or old dog or whatever. Bring them home to honor your pet and love that new animal. And I guarantee you'll heal a lot faster. And that little puppy that you had that's gone, cat, whatever it is, turtle, they're running around on the other side. My little Jack Russell's running around like a crazy nut. And here he was so old he could barely, he was so bad he couldn't even barely walk. I don't want that for anybody. So, celebrate their lives and celebrate their passing. It's not death. There is no death. Celebrate their transition. Celebrate that. It's like, oh, what a beautiful thing. Oh my gosh, that spirit just got released. That white mist that I saw was my little skeezy was going into this other world where he was free, wasn't in pain anymore. How beautiful is that? I want to celebrate that. And by the way, when it's your time, don't be afraid of it. It's going to be awesome. You're not going to feel the pain. You're not going to feel the pain. You just got to, there may be a point, like if you're sick or whatever, let it go, man. Let go. Go. Have fun. Go to the other side. Have fun. You can do whatever you want out there. You'll learn more lessons. It's going to be a lot easier than the lessons here. This is the tough part. So do your best here. Be your best. Love other people. Love other people. It's the toughest thing, I know. I get in those moods where I'm like, when somebody's doing something really stupid and maybe even hurtful. It's like, it's tough to go, oh, I love you. Just say, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's part of being human. And let it go. And half the time, it's not what you think it is. As I always tell you, when people say stuff to you, it's because they're really unhappy with themselves. And sometimes people do stuff they don't even know they're hurting you. So can you forgive everybody and just live an awesome life and know that when we leave here, it's just a beautiful celebration. And I'm going to see you on the other side at some point. Right? Somebody someday is going to be watching this and I will be gone. This is going to be weird, isn't it? And my voice will still be speaking on wonderful messages. Hopefully somebody will, while I'm gone, still get this wonderful message. I hope that. That'll make me so happy. I'll be going, yay! So celebrate that. My parents, my brother, my puppy, my cousin. I just found out that my aunt and uncle are both terminally ill. And that's, it's life. It's life, right? It's people. They come and go. They come and go. Hopefully later than sooner. And those of you who've had tragic losses of young people, my blessings go out to you. My heart for healing goes out to you. Celebrate their beautiful young lives. They were here for a reason, and they were here to teach us. And maybe that's your lesson, is to be able to celebrate that. Learn how to celebrate that transition. and to not be so attached to this physical world that you can't see past it to what we really are. And know that they didn't end. They're happy, they're joyous, they're in the most beautiful, loving place, in the arms of the one source where everything is unconditional love. And all of them, even people who commit suicide, are there. They just maybe have some different lessons to learn, but it's not going to be painful. Just going to have to do some work. That's all. That's all. So release that. They're all okay. You know, people see mediums. Are they okay? Yes, of course they're okay. They're with God. They're all okay. They're all loved. There's no hell, by the way. So quick, get that out of your head, because, you know, we create our own reality, so people go over the other side, may experience that till they realize that they're just making it up themselves. We have the ability to do that. I love you. I love you. You are beautiful. What's the mantra? I'm telling you to do this every day. From the Master Key System, I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loving. I am harmonious. I am happy. And I send that out to all those beautiful people in my life who's passed away. I've had several friends recently go. It's just they're decided. A lot of people are leaving. A lot of people are leaving. The rest of us here, we're the ones that have to do the work. We're raising the planet frequency. Keep it going. Keep it going. I love you. Sending you healing, peace, joy, prosperity, abundance. Namaste.